So Trump has got this profile in the Washington Post about all the racist things that he constantly says. And there's also a defense of him, by the way, from some of these officials saying, yeah, sure, he said these things, but I want to defend him. I'm gonna give you 3 different defenses that were provided in this article, each sadder and more pathetic than the last. So the first is, one former official said, Woodrow Wilson was outwardly a white supremacist. I don't think Trump is as bad as Wilson, but he might be. So that's the first. He's not as explicitly racist as Woodrow Wilson, or maybe Jackson or something like that. But maybe he is, maybe he is. These are people working for him in the White House saying he might be that bad. That's the first level, Ida, is maybe he's as bad as any racist president we've ever had in our history.
I think that sitting down, breaking down, and playing the who's the least racist game is so toxic and dangerous for people of color, because what we need is actual reform and change. We don't need these white people to like us. We need them to get out of our way so that we can have life that has quality. And I think that that's where there is, because there are a lot of white people that are mad who hate us and don't want to be forced to like us. And what we keep saying is, we don't need you to like us. We need you to get out of our way, because we have skin in the game. We've come from people who have worked to build this economy, and we would just like to have our lives. And if you don't want to live in a neighborhood with us, then don't gentrify our neighborhoods. Go live somewhere else. Yeah. You know what I mean? Stay out of our way is what we're asking, because apparently your presence in our lives are dangerous for us. And we have to do the framing. It's not the other way around when Black people come around. No, when you think about Parkland, when you think about Connecticut, when you think about the Aurora, who are the assaulters going in there murdering people in numbers? Just get out of the way. Get out of the way. Donald Trump is a racist. He's not good. He's an elitist. He's a sexist. He is not for anybody who has ever been marginalized in this country, including poor white people, whether they want to admit it or not. And all of these flunkies are following suit because to them, power is more important than humanity. So when we have these conversations, you can miss me with all of that. Donald Trump has not improved the conditions for any Black people in this country unless they're in the top 1%.
Yeah, 100%. And in terms of the excuse making, this is where we turn to our second defense of Donald Trump in this profile. So this is a third former senior administration official says, I don't think Donald Trump is in any way a white supremacist, a neo-Nazi, or anything of the sort. But I think he has a general awareness that one component of his base includes factions that trend in that direction. I got news for you. If you're not a neo-Nazi, a white supremacist or whatever, but you will play to that part of your base, I got news for you. You're a white supremacist. That's what that is. If you're trying to stay in political power by appealing to white supremacists, you're a white supremacist. You don't get to be like, no, I have no negative thoughts when it comes to race, but I'm gonna milk everyone who does. That's not how that works. It certainly shouldn't be how it works. Okay, you want the third? The third defense? We don't have a graphic for this, but I just thought it was amazing because this is such an own of Donald Trump in multiple ways by people doing their best to defend him. So after all of those things that we just told you that he's said, several officials said that Trump is not a disciplined enough thinker to grasp the full dimensions of the white nationalist agenda, let alone embrace it. Others pointed out that they've observed him making far more offensive comments about women, insisting that his scorn is all-encompassing and therefore shouldn't be construed as racist. This is a quote I'm gonna give you from a former a senior White House official saying, this is a guy who abuses people in his cabinet, abuses 4-star generals, abuses people who gave their life for this country, abuses civil servants. It's not like he doesn't abuse people that are white as well. How could he be racist? He hates women, doesn't he? How could he be racist? He was mean to Jeb Bush. This is the defense of a senior White House official who worked with him possibly for years. The best they can say is, well, he's no more racist than he is horrible in literally every other way.
And that he's not a disciplined thinker to grasp the complexities. The comedy writes itself. Like, he's too dumb to be a white supremacist, guys. Like, he's not that smart. He doesn't know what the tenets are of being a supremacist. How dare you call him that? That's just, I don't, we've devolved, like, I know now why I get messages from people, my friends that live in other parts of the world, and we're the laughing stock of the world. And it happens because we've been so smug and snarky towards everybody else. But it's just, that's embarrassing for somebody who knows you closer to your vest than most of us to say, he's not a disciplined enough thinker. I mean, I never heard code for dumb like oh my God. I mean, I think I'm gonna start using that. That. Because the dumb people don't know that he's calling their president dumb, right?
Exactly. It's very carefully targeted there. Man, who needs enemies when you have defenders like this? I can't believe that I skipped over that. I'm so glad that you mentioned it. He's too stupid to be a Nazi. Yeah, put that on his gravestone someday. Unfortunately, I got news for you. There were smart Nazis and there were dumb Nazis. You can be as stupid as you want and also be racist as hell. So it's not a good defense anyway, but it is awesome that it basically owns Trump beyond what I can usually accomplish.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.